Good evening, and welcome to Garbage Theater. Tonight's film is, what was it, a Turgid Ticket to Tahiti?
Something like that.
Yeah. Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm your host, John, here with my co-host, Blake.
Yep.
Chase is taking a little break this time, but one of the benefits of dropping the contest portion is that the show can go on.
That's right.
With just two of us.
Yeah, it's, it's what the Mongolians call dropping dead weight.
We're carrying on. Chase will be back with us in the near future.
Yes. Or not.
Or
I mean,
not.
what did he really contribute to the show anyway? Besides the structure, the
yes.
The intro, the wrangling of us.
He edits the show.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing.
Exactly. Useless.
But I have putting this together has given me a new appreciation for what he has to do. God damn, it took me like days to write my script up. But, well, anyway. So, you want to get into it?
Yeah, so this movie, like, I watched it, I don't know, a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, so thinking back on it now, because I wasn't going to watch it again. But as I was watching it, I couldn't help but think, there's so much stuff happening, but nothing is happening.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole movie. Like, a whole lot of shit's happening, but nothing's really going on.
Nothing that matters. I mean, there's entire characters that have absolutely no purpose. Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's just people hanging out.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, you can definitely appreciate the people who first decided to comb through this film and make a bunch of GIFs and memes from it. And like I appreciate that, because for them to dig through this to find the gold that they have, good job.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this movie definitely has some iconic moments.
Yes.
In cheesy movie history.
Yeah, but see, the iconic moments that I've seen on the internet, I thought they would be part of iconic scenes, and they weren't.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes there's at least one part where the entire scene is wild and out. Like, it's
okay.
The whole thing's crazy from top to bottom.
It's just the story itself is very elementary, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's not deep at all.
No, of course not. And in doing some of my research, sort of looking into what Andy Sidaris was up to, and so there's at least two more movies in this series with these two lady characters continuing on. Jesus. Yeah. I'm almost positive the entire thing is a scheme just to, for them all to be able to chill in Hawaii and make a stupid movie.
Well, then they got it all figured out.
Exactly. You can't blame them.
No.
They did it.
And you know what? If you really think about it, they're in Hawaii. They don't even have to work that hard at what they're doing, and there's more time to just hang out in Hawaii. Exactly.
It's just a bunch of chads and dime pieces hanging out in Hawaii having sex probably. Like, that rules.
Whatever his alias was, Big Dick McGillicuddy or whatever, he's got life figured out.
He really does. Oh, man. So let's get into the movie.
Yeah, let's do that.
We open on some nice shots of what is quite possibly Hawaii, and transition over to the Ala Moana Yacht Club in Honolulu. Our two of our characters, Rowdy and Donna, are on a boat, motherfucker. Don't you ever forget.
That's right.
Donna emerges from the water and asks Rowdy to join her. But Rowdy, ever concerned about wasting the body temperature he's cultivated, refuses. Later over tea, Donna explains that she's been assigned by the DEA to Molokai. Rowdy, uninterested in finding another piece, suggests that he could have her assigned to his team. Thus, the banging can continue uninterrupted. But Donna chooses her career over Rowdy's dong, and they have one last goodbye fuck.
Right, right, as you do.
1.5 minutes to nudity. No messing around.
Did the opening credits happen yet?
No.
Okay, I'll wait.
I don't think so.
I didn't remember if it came before or after all this.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've got a piece on that. It's a little bit later. We head over to Molokai, where two local cops are doing a check on a known weed farm. The ranking officer explains how he's basically corrupt and takes kickback for leaving the weed farm alone. He also mentions he's 1 month from retirement, so you know he's a fucking dead man.
Yeah. What I liked is, okay, he's a corrupt cop, and so he's got this trainee, and it's like, I'm going to train you how to continue the corruption.
Yeah, you gotta learn this stuff.
Instead of just like walking away and being like, who cares what happens to this dude? I'm done.
Honestly, I respect the hustle. Like, he's like, hey, it helps the economy around here. Like, it's all good. I get a little something.
I like his attitude on everything, where it's just like, you come in, you let them know you're around, and everything's on the up and up, and I get something for myself. Like, good for you. But I don't know, just the whole showing this new guy exactly how to do it. Let him figure it out on his own.
Yeah, you gotta let him build his own empire.
Yeah.
So they head over to the site, and when they get there, things just don't look right. There's guns and mustaches everywhere, so they start to run back
mustaches.
to the boat. Some pretty spectacular mustaches. They end up caught in a trap and hanging upside down from a tree. 3 henchmen show up. A large gentleman with a dangly skeleton earring.
That's how you know he's dangerous.
Yeah, his character's name is Earring on IMDb.
Really?
Yeah, all these guys have weird names. And he's played by a guy named Glenn Chin, who played Skinny in Knockoff.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember Skinny.
It's this guy. It's
wow.
a pretty weird coincidence.
That is.
I didn't recognize him at first either, but I was like poking around on IMDb and I was like, what?
Well, I remember Skinny, but wow.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss twice on your career, huh?
Another guy who they call Shades, and a last guy who his character's name is Skater, for reasons which will become clear later on.
I can't imagine what it could possibly be.
For some reason, Shades trades his Uzi with the big guy for a double barrel and blows these two guys' guts out.
Yeah.
And man, are these murderers supportive of each other. Shades gets absolutely showered with compliments.
Yes.
It's like, nailed them both. That's the way to go. Good job, champ.
Well, maybe that's why they're a good criminal organization.
They're supportive of each other. I mean, for sure.
What ultimately brings down, these cabals, if you will, is the infighting. Yeah. And if you can get rid of that, boom.
Yeah, you got yourself a Yojimbo situation.
You know how they always say, like, the couples that don't argue about money, like, that's the most common thing you argue about, so the people that don't argue about money got it made.
Mm-hmm.
See? these guys got it all figured out. They don't argue about who's killing who. It's just, good job, buddy. Let's move on.
Yeah. They got it figured out.
I think I'm starting to like this movie more now. It's
positive message.
I'm gonna go ahead and use some of your words and probably incorrectly, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a pastiche on what people should strive for their relationships to be.
I don't know if that's the correct use of the word, but I appreciate it.
No problem.
You're onto something there.
Yes.
So from here, from Shade's big smiling face, like super proud of himself, we go to the credits sequence.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It seemed like now that I've said what we said, like they just wanted maximum time on the beach, minimal time on the movie. So they're like, well, we got to do a credit thing, and it'd be way cheaper to like not have it like visual effects put it across the screen.
Right.
So let's just slap some paper on some boxes and run them through a warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's similar to like the Napoleon Dynamite credit sequence, except way crappier. I couldn't way less imaginative. Yes. Yeah, it's like almost clever, but it was done so cheaply that it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then they also just end up kind of throwing the whole idea out at some point. So the credit sequence takes place in a warehouse, and the credits are on the sides of crates and boxes and stuff as things are being moved around on forklifts.
Yeah.
But it's all just like printed out on paper and just taped to the side of the crate instead of using a stencil or something. It's like they couldn't afford to mess up these crates.
Yeah. And then I was really mad because the scene right after this, it's still in the warehouse, and one of the boxes goes by, and you can still see the paper on it. Like they forgot to take the paper off of it. Like you couldn't see the words on it, but you could see just on the side, you could see the paper sitting there.
And there's somewhere like it's just a piece of paper taped up in a random place.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty funny.
People are going to get sick of seeing these boxes. We should change it up for one frame. And they did.
They did. So after the credits, still in the warehouse, a bunch of guys are moving crates around, and a forklift driver destroys all the warning signs on a very dangerous-looking snake crate. I don't know if this guy's even forklift certified.
I would say not.
And then the scary snake puppet angrily hisses inside.
They spent zero time making this look like a real snake.
Oh, yeah. It's just a head and then there's a hand in there.
Yeah, it's a sock with conjunctivitis. It's like it's got snot all over it for some reason.
It's contaminated.
Yeah, okay. With what we don't know, but it's contaminated.
The snake, to me, is such an amazing touch. More on the snake to come.
Okay.
We cut over to Donna pulling up to a house and meets up with another girl named Taryn. And they have a little chat, revealing that Taryn is in the witness protection program and helps Donna maintain her cover as a pilot for Molokai Cargo. Taryn puts on she's like naked immediately, of course.
Yeah.
The amount of nudity in this movie is pretty shocking. But luckily it's all really tasteful and necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. You were more shocked when they had clothes on.
Right.
Because,
yes.
And then the hoochie mama outfits they wore while they're at work is even crazier.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
oh, let's get back to work for our undercover jobs and whatnot, and it's just like, well, these shorts let my labia hang out, so
It's like booty shorts Indiana Jones. So Taryn goes in and puts on the exact same clothes as Donna, making the two women basically indistinguishable from each other.
You're right.
Except that Taryn has nunchucks hanging from her belt, so that's how you can tell.
I forgot about the nunchucks.
They hop into the Jeep and head over to Molokai Cargo. Their boss tells them they're transporting a couple of honeymooners and a snake.
Uh-huh.
Taryn says she pretends she's in a James Bond movie to relieve her boredom, which is like a character trait she has now.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie. She's like
yeah,
James
so like
Bond
she's
stuff.
a secret agent because she's in witness protection, but she's working for the cops while she's in witness protection, which I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think so either. So they take off, and an original song plays over the flight to wherever they're going. The soundtrack is newly available on vinyl.
Oh, wow.
You can find it on Mondo, along with the soundtrack.
Should I be getting things on vinyl?
Oh, I've been getting stuff on vinyl.
Like,
I wouldn't get this.
I don't know. I go to people's houses and I see they got the record players and stuff, and I'm like, but do I want to do that? I don't know. Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I initially started buying vinyl because a lot of them also come with like a little digital download code. So,
Okay.
You don't just get, you're not tied to the record player.
Well, see, that was the other thing. I was at this person's house. I saw the little record player thing, but it hooked up to Bluetooth, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Vinyl's like an experience. I just like having the oversized artwork. Sometimes they do cool stuff with the graphic design. So, I don't know.
Maybe I'm too old. I don't get it.
You don't have to.
I don't know.
People do all kinds of weird stuff. I'm more concerned about the people that collect cassette tapes.
Who are those monsters?
I don't know. That's one I don't get.
No, that's ridiculous. I refuse to believe that those people exist.
Dude, I promise you, they still exist.
My God. Well, either way, I got other hobbies. I don't need to get into vinyl, I guess.
The other one that I kind of was considering getting was Miami Connection. They just released that soundtrack on vinyl, and I'll be damned if those Dragon Sound songs don't slap.
Oh, man. No, well, anyway. Sorry for the sidebar and vinyl explanation, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a little too Portlandia for me, thank you.
Yeah. So the boss is back in the warehouse and realizes there's been a terrible mistake, and that the snake that was loaded onto the plane is contaminated.
Yeah, and not the other perfectly fine snake, which we happen to have right here.
There's one good snake and one contaminated snake.
The contaminated snake had a mustache. Looked just like the other one, but it was evil. Also, did you notice on the wide shots of the plane when they were flying the honeymooners that it was just like two mannequins in the back of the plane?
I didn't notice that, no.
Yeah, it was like you could see a mannequin sitting there with just a weird wig on.
That rules.
It did. Like, I really enjoyed that part.
I mean, I was really surprised when they were on the runway. Donna was in the front seat, like operating the plane.
Yeah. I was surprised that they actually took the time to get like, excuse me, the wide angle shot of the plane flying. Like, they actually had it trailed with another aircraft filming it, and I was like, well, that took some doing.
Yeah, I mean, as kind of crazy as this movie is, the actual filmmaking isn't really the problem. There's not a lot of technical problems with the movie. It's
right.
It's mostly just the acting, the writing.
It's story. Everything else. But I've seen way worse, filming of a movie.
Yeah. So Boss tries to get the ladies on the horn to warn him about the snake, but they've already landed and they're out taking the honeymooners to their campsite. We cut over to a cartoon of a rich guy on his yacht. It's like ridiculous. He's got like an ascot, a British accent. He's like an evil Robin Leach.
Yeah.
It turns out he's in on whatever criminal shit's going on the island. And using his wealth stick, he pilots a remote control helicopter over to the island, where Earring and Skater are meant to retrieve the payment. Through a twist of fate, the helicopter lands right near our heroines, who remove a couple of thingies from the helicopter just as the two goons arrive on the scene and start blasting at them.
Yeah, what I don't get with the helicopter is, okay, so the people have taken over that section of the island, like, whatever, Earring and Hairpiece or whatever. They've taken over that part of the island.
Mm-hmm.
The boat's just right offshore. Can't you just bring what you wanted to bring over and not have to deal with all the extra steps of this bullshit?
I think one of Rich guy's name is Chang, by the way, for future reference. One of his goons on the boat, I think, tries to address that, and he says, like, why do we do it this way? And Chang is just like, it's always worked. And that's it. That's the explanation.
The guy who before me who retired told me that this is exactly how you're supposed to do it.
You want to do crime? This is how we do crime.
That's right. The only way you can learn is when somebody retires and they tell you exactly how to do it. And then that's it.
That's it. So Donna fights back with some ninja stars hidden in her cowboy boots.
What the fuck is going on now?
And Taryn, in a demonstration of her mastery of the weapon, hurls her nunchucks into a Skater's face. Just throws them at him.
See, and at first, when I saw her getting into the plane and she had her nunchucks on her hip, I was like, what are you going to do if a fight breaks out in a little Cessna plane with nunchucks? Like, besides cause damage. But she ended up using them, I guess, properly, quote unquote.
I don't know. I guess I feel like Bruce Lee would have done something different, but
yeah, like keep him in his hands. Yeah, probably so.
In the scuffle, Taryn drops one of the thingies in the tall grass, and they book it back to the plane and get away. The two injured men rush over to the helicopter, find it empty, and drop to their knees in despair. They both dread facing Seth.
Yeah. Lord.
The ladies land back at Malachite Cargo, where they move the snake to the hangar. The trauma of the day's events has weakened their minds and bodies, and there's only one place they can attain the peace and rest and clear minds the situation requires. The motherfucking jacuzzi.
Oh yeah.
So they head over there. At new location, Edie's Restaurant. The only business on the island, apparently.
Right.
We meet Edie and a bunch of side characters who are not important, and also Seth. So Earring and Skater show up to tell Seth they lost the stuff to a couple of broads, and Seth says these boys, if brains were bird shit, you'd have a clean cage. Go straight Shakespeare on them.
Right.
So he sends them away, and he calls over the large buff woman he was with and tells her he's got a job for her.
I also would like to say, I don't think I'd ever be afraid of a man named Seth.
How could you be?
Just saying. Now, a Frank? Yeah, I'd be afraid of a Frank.
Yeah. I don't mess with a Frank.
Nah,
or a
not
Rico.
Seth. Then again, and it may be counterintuitive, I don't think I'd be afraid of a dude named Blake.
And John's just like an NPC name.
True. Yeah.
So Donna and Taryn are just getting into the jacuzzi, topless, as was the style at the time.
Right.
Checking out what was in the box they took from the toy helicopter. They discover that it's full of diamonds. Taryn observes they must be worth a fortune. They're worried about how easy it will be for the bad guys to find them, since they're two blondes that fly out of the plane that says Molokai Cargo on the side of it.
Right. If I'd have watched this movie when I was 10, I'd have been like, this shit slaps, bro.
Yeah. I mean, all the nudity, all the... Yeah. The nudity.
The nudity, the edge of your seat action, the intense moments of will they get caught, will they not get caught? It's all there. It's all there. Too bad it wasn't made for 10-year-olds, though.
I mean, there's an argument to be made that it kind of was, but... So with the rejuvenating power of the jacuzzi coursing through them, they leave to report to Rowdy and deliver that snake. Rowdy is on a docked boat, training up his martial arts, with another character named Jade, played by Harold Diamond from Killing American Style.
Yes.
I did a little research on this dude. He's actually a legit kickboxing champion.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, he went 17-1.
Yeah, in Killing American Style, what was the name of it? Yeah, that was the name of it.
Yeah.
I remember I made the joke that said he looked like Dan from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And in this movie, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, look, it's Dan from Street Fighter. And I was like, wait, I've said that before. When did I say that before? And I looked it up and then come to realize it's the same exact guy.
It's undeniable.
Yeah.
He is Dan from Street Fighter.
Absolutely.
I would not be surprised to find out that the character designers saw this man and made Dan from Street Fighter.
I mean, it's pretty spot on. And, you can't have the excuse of, oh, that was just his look for one movie. Nah, man, that's just him.
That's him. That's what he looks like.
Weak-ass half-screen Hadouken.
So, Rowdy and Jade start joking around, doing some racist Chinese impressions, just guys being dudes.
They laid that on pretty heavy. Sitting here firmly in 2021, and I was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I think we gotta strike the phrase Confucius say from the language entirely.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
A scooter pulls up, and the driver hands up a styrofoam container with a loose sandwich flopping around inside of it. Yeah. Turns out it's a ham and secret message sandwich with a piece of paper wadded up in between the bread somewhere. They read the message, complain about being hungry, and then set the sandwich on fire.
What I don't get is they make a big deal like this guy, he's working for him, but he's doing it covertly, so he's bringing him a sandwich. It's still the dude bringing shit to him. Yeah, so, if anybody was watching, I don't know what the scooter guy's name was, we'll call him Frank, because he's to be feared. If somebody's watching Frank to see if he's talking to the fuzz, they still see him going to that boat every day.
Yeah. I don't even know
what's the point of hiding the message in the sandwich then?
I have no idea. It's like they think they're being super spies. It's like Mission Impossible shit.
Now, if Frank went to the dock, cast a few lines with his fishing pole, and forgot his sandwich on the dock and went away, now we're talking espionage.
Yeah, that's professional spy stuff.
Yes, everybody knows the forgotten sandwich trick. I mean, like, that's, that means you've made it.
But, and then I don't even know what message this is. I thought it was from the girls, but they just end up calling them later. So I don't know what this message is for.
It's to show that they're spies, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, man. So back with Taryn and Donna. Taryn is showing off her Mondo poster collection. These are all posters for other Andy Sidaris movies.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I figured that.
Yeah. I guess the Rowdy's character is related to another character in a different movie or something. I don't know. There's a whole universe built here in the Andy Sidaris world.
Right. The Sidaris verse.
Yeah. Donna's over here bragging about Rowdy's 3-foot-long dick. And then they're attacked by some goons with stockings over their faces looking for diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Donna lies to her low-energy assailant that the diamonds are in the hangar. Once there, she makes her move, but the snake crate gets knocked over in the scuffle and the snake escapes.
Uh-oh.
I thought this movie was going to be about, like, drug crime and stuff like that, but they spend so much time on this snake.
I was just like, why are we spending time away from the titties and looking at this snake? They're just slithering away and leaving a slug trail behind it.
It's the most bizarre subplot, but it does pay off in a pretty spectacular way, I think. Taryn gives up the diamonds to her attacker, but they still want the second box that the ladies don't have. Outside, Seth, who I guess drove his goons there. I don't know why he's there as the boss. He spots the snake from 40 feet away. He loses his shit and starts blasting at it.
Yeah, his tough man facade melted right then.
He must have like an Indiana Jones level fear of snakes to react that way. He didn't even know it was contaminated.
Yeah, the only thing missing was a chair for him to jump up onto in his high heels.
The goons hear the shots outside and let the girls go. Donna grabs her noisy cricket and runs out after him. Shoots Seth in the fucking face. Man. So, their Molokai cargo boss has been sitting at his desk for like 12 hours trying to warn these chicks about the snake.
He's never let up on that radio once. Just going at it.
Gotta warn him about the snake.
They should have made like his if they'd have made his voice like hoarse at that point, it would have been beautiful. Like he just all day he's been radioing.
His hair's all messed up, Costanza style.
Covered in sweat.
He finally catches them as they happen to be running past the plane.
Right.
Now, I can't really tell if this movie is self-aware or not. There are a lot of moments where it feels like they were just trying to make a fun, dumb action movie. But when this motherfucker reveals that the snake is contaminated with deadly toxins from cancer-infested rats,
yeah,
you have to wonder.
You gotta think that they're kind of at this like I said, I think we solved the mystery. They're all just chilling in Hawaii.
It's gotta be what it is.
Like everybody's just fucking in Hawaii.
Yeah, which again, I respect that hustle.
Look, up until I saw no purpose for this movie until like we kind of come up with that conclusion, and now it's like I can't knock it.
So they tell him the snake got loose and head back inside to clean up. They jibber jabber for a bit about Donna's hero DEA agent dad and how Taryn wants to get fucked by James Bond. Right. And then they get dolled up to go to Edie's to call Rowdy, finally. At Edie's, the host, a guy named Ashley, meets them at the entrance to the restaurant and offers them a seat on his face.
Yeah.
Donna zigs him about his dick, and he directs them to Edie. Taryn orders a martini, James Bond style. And it turns out Edie's some kind of contact for the DEA, and the girls need her help to contact Rowdy. So convoluted. So they head to Edie's office.
Especially when you realize that they've already just called them before.
Yeah. Well, the attackers cut the phone line in Donna's house, so they couldn't call them from there. So they did cover that.
No, I guess you're right.
But in what seems to be happening in a totally separate movie, some guy comes in and sits down with two other some guys and starts talking about vitamins and supplements and shit.
Yeah.
It goes on forever.
It does. We have to hear the whole pitch, just as moviegoers. What do you want?
Once you've seen the entire thing, there's no reason for this.
No,
it served no purpose.
Right. There's no reason for me to see this Blue Chew salesman give his whole pitch to two other guys.
Listen, you can take your hymns and sell them somewhere else, buddy. He says you gotta take 10 grams of vitamin C to, quote, crank out that iridescent green and yellow urine that'll win you respect in every restroom in the world.
Which, that's bullshit. 10 milligrams? Did you say 10 grams or 10 milligrams?
10 grams.
10 grams?
Yeah.
Nah. You'd still piss normal.
And look, I don't need this guy's advice to get respect in the restroom. My shelves are filled with urine awards. I got loudest in 1994, longest duration 96 and 98, darkest 3 years running now. Longest distance has always evaded me. The category is absolutely dominated by Leo McCorkle. Everyone calls him Squirts.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, who wants to have their piss fluorescent?
I don't know. Yeah, green? Iridescent green?
Now, I will tell you this. If you take amino acids and stuff, it'll change your piss weird colors, bright yellow. But it's not nothing to fucking write home about.
Yeah, aren't you just ideally supposed to have clear?
Yes. That means you're well hydrated. But amino acids will kind of turn your pee bright colored.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean anything. It's not like you're at the gym and you're like, bro, look at this. Look at this stream I got going.
Oh, whoa, shit, man, you must be on iridescent green and yellow urine I've been hearing about.
You must be on that 5 grams of vitamin C. You can't get that from an orange. Ugh.
So weird.
Very weird.
Anyway, we cut over to one of Edie's employees listening in on the girls' call with Rowdy, with some kind of phone tap thing. The call reveals that Seth is running some big drug operation on the island, and Rowdy and Jade are going to come help out, but Rowdy wants the girls to scope out Seth's place.
Mm-hmm.
After the call, the girls head back out to the restaurant, and it turns out Taryn had a little thing with the guy with the spectacular urine, and
right?
His name is Jimmy John.
This is before he got to the sandwiches.
He made all his money in the vitamin game, and then pursued his dream of the sandwich shop.
Yes.
Yeah. So they go off and have a romantic time at the beach with lots of nudity.
Yeah.
Rowdy and Jade arrive, load up a Jeep, and hit the road. And here we arrive at one of the absolutely iconic scenes of the movie. they pass some maniac probably out of his fucking mind on some heavy doobies. Doing a headstand on a skateboard, riding in the middle of the road. So this is Skater.
Yes, obviously.
I mean, the handstand is a pretty impressive trick.
Yeah.
Skateboarder hops in a car with earrings, and they drive up past Rowdy and Jade. Skateboarder grabs a gun and an inflatable sex doll and barrels back down the road at our heroes. Fires 2 shots, hitting Jade in his right pectoral, and the other blows out a tire. Rowdy makes sure Jade's okay, and vowing to get that turkey, dives into the trunk in the back of the Jeep and emerges with a rocket launcher. Jade throws the Jeep into reverse and aims the rear bumper at the skateboarder, who for some reason is just spinning in circles.
What the fuck is wrong with this dude?
I don't know what he's doing. By some miracle of physics, the car throws him into the air vertically 30 feet.
Yeah.
Rowdy takes aim with the rocket launcher and deletes this guy right out of the sky.
Absolutely.
And then, because he's feeling extra spicy, Rowdy takes aim at the skateboarder's beloved sex doll floating gracefully down from the sky and blows that bitch all the way back to the Big Island.
Which I think was too much.
Even Jade seems shocked at the level of overkill.
You know what? I don't think I'd be afraid of a guy named Jade.
Me neither.
Okay.
Me neither. Find a different rock to be named after, sir.
Yeah.
Or just
Jade.
be named Rock.
There you go. Guy named Rock will beat the shit out of you.
Except, well, no, all the rocks I know. Maybe Rock Hudson wouldn't. I don't know.
Name like Rock Hudson though. That's a strong name. That's a good jawline name right there.
Oh yeah, he had the jawline to back up that name.
Exactly.
We cut back over to the honeymooners from earlier, just having a great time, taking Polaroids their kids will find in a shoebox in their closet in 15 years.
Yep, those are always fun.
This girl escapes getting naked for the movie by suddenly being attacked by the Kantama snake. Jade gets fixed up at the hospital, but their Jeep died from having the tire blown out. And Rowdy has to call Edie for a ride. Since an opportunity for nudity can't be passed up, we go watch Edie change into her Rowdy retrieving clothes.
Right.
She jumps in a car and heads out. Michelle, the employee that was listening in on the phone call, she hurries back to the break room, pops that wig off, reveals that she's actually just a bald man with a killer bone structure.
Let me tell you something. I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. It was genuinely like, what?
I would love to say, like, how could you not know? Like, that definitely, like, shook me back into this movie. Like, what the fuck just happened?
So Michelle changes back into man form and jumps into a van, directing the driver to where Edie is headed. They then run Edie off the road, pull her into the van, and drive off. Donna and Taryn are surveilling Seth's house. Remember when Rowdy told them to do that like 20 minutes ago? They spy Shades playing frisbee with some lady on the beach and observes that he takes his throwing pretty seriously.
Yes. Now, at this point in time, like, when was this movie made?
87.
Okay. Was, like, frisbee, like, a big deal?
I don't know.
Like, I entered this earth in the early 80s, and I've seen my fair share of dumb shit. But I don't know, like, if people were like, man, he really takes that frisbee seriously, and, like, dudes are out there, like, practicing 8 hours a day on their frisbee. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a pretty classic beach activity.
Yeah, but do you like take it seriously? Now I know you got them. I know you got them losers out there with their frisbee golf and whatnot.
Yeah,
but that's a little different than what this guy's doing.
yeah. This is. I mean, I guess I don't know when frisbee golf or like ultimate frisbee were invented. So
I forgot about the ultimate frisbee clowns too. You know what, John? You strike me as an ultimate frisbee type of guy. Something tells me you've dabbled.
I actually haven't. I do enjoy throwing the frisbee.
Okay, nothing wrong with throwing a frisbee.
My wife's brother, my brother-in-law.
Okay.
He does play ultimate frisbee quite a bit, actually.
Okay, that must be what I'm picking up on.
Maybe. I mean, it sounds like fun.
Some kind of sexually transmitted frisbee thing is happening.
He did get me into enjoying frisbee. I was pretty indifferent before he came around, and then it's just something that we could do, to bond as brothers-in-law.
Nice. Well, good for you. Y'all put on y'all's Beach Boys vinyl and go out back and throw the frisbee.
Absolutely. Got our frisbee gloves on, our sweatbands, our high shorts.
My rifle slung across my chest like this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't put down his Uzi while he's playing frisbee,
which seems really dangerous.
Extraordinarily dangerous. So Taryn and Donna also spot the goons bringing Edie over to Seth's place, and they need to go find Rowdy, so they pack up and head out. Rowdy and Jade left at the hospital because Edie never made it there. They get tired of hanging out and decide to hitch a ride. Donna and Taryn remember they were supposed to pick up those two honeymooners like 2 weeks ago and find them super dead.
Good thing they're dead. Can't leave a bad Yelp review now.
Yeah, it's just one less thing we have to do right now. There's a shot here where they're like walking through some of the foliage there, and the snake is kind of scooting around down there. You can see the puppeteer's like nose and glasses.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Peeking through the grass. It's pretty great.
Jesus.
Then we get another entirely pointless scene where Jimmy John is interviewing some football players.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out why this is in here. Apart from that other guy, Whitey, who's like his producer or something, that was Andy Sedaris.
Oh, okay.
So he's got to get himself in there.
Maybe the guys that he's interviewing about the whatever, maybe that's just some of their friends that were like, hey, you want to come to Hawaii? We'll put you in a movie.
Yeah, probably. Rowdy,
what do we got to do? Sit there and look interested. Okay.
They don't look interested. Rowdy and Jade wind up at Donna's place, and everyone's just sitting around loading and packing weapons. Harold Diamond is wearing the same jacket that he was wearing in Killing American Style. So
really?
It's verified that this is just his personal wardrobe.
He's that cool.
Yeah.
Okay, he's okay. They had to come up with Dan from this guy then.
Yes.
What's his name? What's his real name?
Harold Diamond.
Harold Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be afraid of a guy named Harold either.
Meanwhile, outside, the snake crawls into some pipe. Donna takes Rowdy into another room to show him the surveillance they got earlier. Meanwhile, Edie's being interrogated by Seth about those diamonds. Jade and Taryn have a drink. Jade says that shaken not stirred James Bond shit, and Taryn's probably wishing she was sitting on a towel right now. We get like another random aside of the buff lady goon just doing nunchuck stuff in a bikini for no reason.
Well, gotta practice. Keep them skills sharp.
I guess. Donna and Rowdy watch the footage and identify Shade's weakness as Frisbee. Then things get kind of weird when Rowdy says the only thing he wants to do is suck the polish off Donna's toes. I knew I'd fucking clock this guy as a foot guy.
Oh, man.
Donna and Rowdy then get up to some, like, eldritch and obscure sex acts, like throwing Rowdy into fits. And Taryn and Jade are just in the other room snickering because they can hear everything. Seth calls up Chang, the rich cartoon guy from earlier, warns him there are agents everywhere. Chang tells Seth to kill them all, and Seth, acting as though there was some euphemism there, responds, "I understand."
That's funny.
The next morning, Rowdy infiltrates Shade's regular game of throwing a frisbee back and forth, and after a few throws, Shades recognizes that Rowdy's the real deal and sets his Uzi down so he can unleash his true potential.
Yeah. This motherfucker's throwing a frisbee right back at me.
It's like, oh shit. He's throwing it right to me.
Most of the time when people throw it does that weird sideways thing and rolls to me. This guy, he knows what he's doing.
I don't even have to move to catch it. But luckily, Rowdy made sure to beat Metal Man's stage before he came to this level. And
right.
He draws his ultimate weapon, a cheap frisbee with a bunch of razor blades taped to it.
I don't think that thing would fly.
It certainly wouldn't do any damage.
And it would probably do more damage to him throwing it than it would to the person who caught it.
Yeah. So in glorious slow motion, with the names of the slain Molokai cops on his lips and revenge in his heart, Rowdy hurls the deadly disc, cleaving Shade's fingers from his hand and burying itself in his neck. Rowdy pumps his fist in righteous victory while Shades bleeds out on the sand.
It was good shit.
It's pretty. That's another kind of iconic scene, I think.
Well, once I gotta push back on that. Iconic moment, not iconic scene.
Okay, fair enough.
Two dudes threw a frisbee at each other a couple times.
But, like, why with the razor blade frisbee? When he puts the Uzi down, just shoot him.
I don't know. And I like how, like, that was the intelligence of... They got the intel that he likes to play frisbee, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to Dremel out a bunch of slits in this frisbee and put some razor blades in it. And I'm going to challenge him by throwing his frisbee at him. And he's going to get so into it that I'm going to be able to cut his fucking hand off.
And Donna apparently was like... That's fucking crazy. Oh, man.
It's just crazy enough to work.
So, with one guard dead, Rowdy calls the rest of the team over the walkie-talkie to commence the assault on Seth's place. Donna flies in, piloting a little ultralight, dropping noise grenades? Are noise grenades a thing?
They are now.
Right. And the other three find an extremely flimsy part of the fence to barrel through in a Jeep. One guy comes out of the house to shoot it out with Rowdy, and Rowdy forgets to aim at the guy, but hits every drinking glass that happens to be laying around.
Right.
And Jade just gets bored and shoots the guy himself. After accomplishing nothing, Donna lands the ultralight. Taryn gets into a firefight with the Michelle man.
Michael. His name's Michael now. I said his name's Michael now.
That's right. Jade goes into the house, but chooses to back through all the rooms until he runs into a goon that's just standing still. Rowdy heads in a different way, surprising that goon, and Jade gives Rowdy his weapons so he and this guy can settle their differences like men. Taryn finally gets the drop on Michael and lights him up. Some pretty good squibs here.
Yeah.
Reminded me of RoboCop a little bit.
I was gonna say that, yeah. Not as awesome, but
not quite as awesome, and significantly fewer.
Right.
But some good squibs. Jade and his floppy hair bun get hella mad when the goon damages Jade's beads. Something important to him that has not come up before this moment. So Jade breaks that guy's neck.
This wasn't in the script. It was just the guy accidentally broke his beads, and this Harold guy legitimately killed a man.
Andy was like, use that rage.
My beads.
My mother gave me those beads. Rowdy finds his way to Edie and blows the low energy goon out a window with the bazooka. Earrings and the buff lady try to make a break for it in a helicopter, but Rowdy throws Donna the bazooka and she fucking vaporizes it.
Yes.
Donna then heads home in the ultralight, and the rest of the crew take a van that was sitting around on the property. Heading down the road, everyone in the van's trading war stories until they realize that no one killed that fucker Seth.
The whole reason we're here.
Yeah. It's a pretty funny cut there. Edie's like, "Who killed that bastard Seth?" And the van just screeches to a halt, and Rowdy blasts out the back of it on a dirt bike. Back at Donna's place, the sun's going down and she's getting cleaned up, and Seth appears and jumps her, asking about the diamonds. They scuffle around and Donna locks herself in a closet. Seth tries to stab his way in, and I couldn't help but think this part was an homage to Halloween, when Laurie's in the closet.
Sure.
Michael Myers is trying to get in there. It's just the closet doors, they got the slats and everything, and the camera's in a similar place. But
yeah, but it's such a flimsy door that...
Oh, yeah.
He's holding back so he doesn't break it too much with each hit.
He's stabbing out the individual slats with his
exactly, instead of just going down them all. And he could have reached in there 10 minutes ago.
Oh, easily. Donna loads up the harpoon gun that was in her closet and gets Seth in the shoulder, and he goes down. Donna lets her guard down, and Seth attacks her again with the knife, but that winds up in Seth's gut. He really sucks at this.
Yeah.
Probably stepped on a bunch of rakes trying to get into the house. Donna backs into the bathroom and starts wiping the blood off herself. She goes to flush the tissue, and the fucking snake explodes from the toilet. Donna runs out of the bathroom and hides. In the bathroom, the snake hates what it's become. It can't stand the sight of itself and destroys the bathroom mirror. Seth, still alive, hears the commotion, staggers toward the bathroom. He throws open the door and catches a couple of contaminated fangs to the face, which finally put him down.
Yeah, the whole reason this snake existed was to come out of the toilet.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much time they spent on the snake just for this
Yeah.
payoff. Where was I here? The snake slithers out of the bathroom and Donna leaps into action, grabbing a gun and shooting it twice directly in the mouth. The contamination's too strong. There's no effect. Just then Rowdy blows through the wall with his dirt bike, takes aim with a bazooka, and blows the snake's head off at close range. There's like some wildly inconsistent damage on this bazooka.
Yeah. I don't know why it's the go-to weapon either.
Props department spent a bunch of time putting that PVC rocket launcher together.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's got to be on the screen. Sometime later, the entire gang, Donna, Rowdy, Jade, Edie, Jimmy John, and Taryn, are all cruising around in a limo. Rowdy, not satisfied with the number of people they've killed so far, decides to make a quick stop at Chang's place. Donna and Rowdy go up to Chang's office where they're confronted by Chang's muscly bodyguard. Gang up on him with nunchucks. Just beat the shit out of him while he stands there. Chang grabs a katana off the wall.
Now we got something.
It's like, oh! And Donna pulls out Dirty Harry's gun. And in this movie's tradition of weapons being used completely incorrectly, Chang throws his sword at them. And Donna just puts a hole in him.
He throws his sword, and then Donna throws the gun. He catches the gun and switches it with a gun he had in his pocket that had razor blades around it. He throws it back. Now that would have been a good scene.
That would have been hilarious. The only thing I can imagine is that these actors never shared, the same space at any given time, so you couldn't exactly fight them with a sword. You just had to throw it. So Chang crashes through a window and splats on the ground right in front of the rest of the squad. Then, since this movie never ends, we get another scene of the group out on a boat celebrating their killing spree. Donna wants to go retrieve the other box of diamonds and turn it in, but Taryn, being a civilian and the only one who knows where they are, is under no obligation to turn them in and gets to keep them, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, okay. And then everyone clinks glasses. Roll credits.
Yeah. Yeah, the end of this movie was very Return of the Kingy. Had a lot of endings.
Yeah, they did cut the scene where Donna boards a boat to the Undying Lands, and
and whenever and Jade tried to bow down to somebody, and they're like, "You bow to no one, my friend."
And
then everybody cries
in the house.
Yeah.
The end credits were really funny because they just start replaying scenes from the movie again, but they make sure to get every bit of nudity back in. I didn't
stick around. Yeah, I didn't stick around for the credits. What would have been awesome is if they would have done the credits, like if they would have just done the warehouse scene in reverse and did the credits that way.
They should have just wrote everyone's name just across a pair of tits.
Or you get like a real long roll of paper and write all the names and just drag it past the camera.
Yeah, like kids do when they're like sweeting movies or something.
Yeah. Well, it was a good one.
It was. We shit on it a lot, but I actually it'd be like a lot of fun to watch with a group and like have drinks and stuff. It's got a reputation of being like a great cheesy action movie for a reason. So it was pretty fun.
It was. I mean, we have to make fun of it. I mean, that's kind of what we do here, but it wasn't unbearable, you know.
No. I mean, it's not good.
No. It's still good, but it's still nothing happens in it, but it's still a decent shitty movie.
Yeah, I was actually tempted to. So we watched this on Tubi, and Tubi's got like all of Andy Sidaris' movies now. So I was tempted to start watching some other ones. Just to see if they have
I wonder if
stuff.
Okay, so Tubi gets they start working their contract negotiations, and like HBO Max is like, well, we get all the Lord of the Rings movies now. I wonder if somebody's rubbing their hands at Tubi like, yep, now we got all Big Dick McGillicuddy's trilogy. To the moon now, fellas. Ugh.
I'm loving this resurgence of cheese. Like, there's this company called Vinegar Syndrome, and they release junk like this.
Okay.
But they give it the Criterion treatment. They like nice transfers. They get like commission an artist to do like gorgeous cover art for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. So like I think this stuff is kind of having a renaissance.
Also, I would assume that the Tubi offices look like the warehouse with the contaminated snake in it.
Most likely. There's like one guy. Gerald Tubi.
One guy trying to call two chicks over the radio while simultaneously running a streaming service.
Can't play the Andy Sidaris collection. It's contaminated.
Yeah. Somebody do something about this damn snake.
The Tubi offices are overrun with contaminated snakes.
Yes.
Oh, man. So what do you think? Is this garbage? Is it not garbage?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna say it's right on the line for me. I'll go ahead and say not garbage.
Got a not garbage. Yeah, I agree that it's a tough one.
Yeah.
When they're really bad but also really entertaining.
Exactly.
You're in a tough spot.
Yes.
So I feel like garbage has no value. But this
I will even say this. If they somehow didn't do the scene where the snake jumped out the toilet, it would be garbage. It's that thin of a margin where, one crazy thing tipped it over the scale,
Yeah. No, I mean I think you're right. I think the bits that are really crazy over the top really rescue it from the garbage pile.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm going to also say not garbage.
Good deal. But I am glad it's over.
Yeah, I did have to watch it twice. Once when I took regular notes, and then when Chase told us he was out this time, I had to go back and watch it very closely. Get all my notes. But it was fun.
Yeah, it was. Now what?
Well, next time we are going to be doing the Snyder Cut. The Justice
that's right.
League Snyder Cut. So, you know the deal. It's fucking 4 hours long. We'll probably just get into some of this other behind the scenes stuff when we talk about it, but y'all know what it is.
Yeah. I've never seen the original cut. I've only seen the Snyder Cut.
So that'll give you kind of an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I will say off the top that it's better than the theatrical version for sure.
Right. Okay. I'll say, like, I didn't have... Well, I probably shouldn't talk about it. I'll wait until... Yeah, what am I doing? I'm about to go into my analysis of Justice League. What the fuck am I doing?
We'll have plenty to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And there may be just another surprise on that episode. So yeah, be sure to catch that one. We're striking while the iron is red hot. Everyone's talking about the Snyder Cut right now.
Right.
Actually, since people do record podcasts like way ahead of time, I'm lying. Snyder Cut came out like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Well, it's only presented itself now. We're busy with The Hobbit.
That's right. Another iron we struck while red hot.
Exactly.
We really got the finger on the pulse.
Well, it's what we do here. I did see that maybe in the future there is it's not a Snyder Cut, but it's close to it. There's a new cut of the Super Mario Brothers movie with 20 extra minutes on it.
Oh, I saw that headline too.
I sent it to everybody in our little group there, and nobody responded to it.
I didn't have time to read the article, but that is pretty exciting.
20 extra minutes.
Can you just watch it online somewhere?
I think so. And now it's never been put out digitally, but like you can find it in this archive, apparently. Might have to do it quick. It might get taken down. I don't know. I don't know why they're so protective over this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's got a reputation to uphold or anything.
I honestly think me and Chase are the only people that like the movie, on the planet. I've never met another person outside of me and Chase that like that movie.
I think you guys seem to be the only ones that like it without a caveat or unironically.
Right.
The other people that
exactly.
like it think they like it because it's good, bad, or whatever. But
no, we like it because it's awesome.
Right.
And now we got 20 more minutes of it.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, has this footage just been lost this whole time, or was it like deleted scenes?
It's not deleted scenes, it's like extended from what I read.
Okay.
So it's just scenes we've already seen, just extended. Nothing that wasn't ever mentioned, you know?
I'm gonna have to read this article.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, if I can find it, I'm gonna watch it. Doesn't matter if we do it on the show or not. I'm fucking watching it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can squeeze it in.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. I think that's it for this episode. So join us next time for Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and we'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to Garbage Theater. As always, you can find us online at facebook.com/Garbage Theater, on Twitter at Garbage_Theater, and on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. If you'd care to leave us a review on iTunes, we would very much appreciate it. And if you have a movie suggestion or just want to reach out to us, you can contact us at any of our social channels or email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest episodes and happenings. Good night, and see you next time, folks.